Good evening, guys. Here fishing with Bernie. Just going to be out for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half at most. Fish should still be spawning. You're going to have some fish that are post-spawn. You might still have some that are pre-spawn, and then fish that are in the spawn here. So I'm mostly just going to be focusing around docks. I got a wacky worm, Zoom brush hog, and then I got a spook and a buzzbait ready. I'm trying to throw a little top water as it gets a little bit closer to sundown and see if I catch any. The lake has definitely come up a little bit since I was here last, and looks like it got a little bit more color into it. So I don't know how well sight fishing is going to go, especially with the sun kind of going down a little bit, but we'll see if we can find any good ones on the beds. If not, we'll just kind of poke around and see if we can catch some big ones. Little bitty guy. We dropped right on his head though. The water is 77 degrees. So last time I was here, the water was like 62 degrees. Where did spring go? I don't really know what that did to him. The water warming up so quick. I need more sunlight though to be able to, actually be looking around for beds. I did see someone sight fish earlier in front of my place and caught one on a bed. So I don't know. Well, that's it for the night, guys. Caught some on top water and one on a Zoom brush hog floating behind a dock. Like I said, the water temperature is 77.3 degrees, my graph says. So I'm gonna have to look around a little bit tomorrow if it's sunny and see if I could, see more fish on beds. The water temperature jumped up so fast. It's just an abnormal thing. So I'll be kind of curious to see, what that did, but it had to have pushed some fish further out towards the main lake. Got the full moon coming up. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. I'm gonna do some more flipping, and I'm probably gonna concentrate a lot more tomorrow on secondary points and maybe even a little main lake stuff, and see if I get any bites out there. Good morning, guys. We're gonna go out Bernie this morning for about 2 hours, so I don't have that much time to fish. And I did see some over by my dock again. They're up there, but they're really hard to see because even up here by the dam, the water has quite a bit more stain to it. I'm gonna go just kind of focus on the in and out points if fish are transitioning, and I am also gonna go back in some little cuts and flip behind docks and just see what I can find. But I think if you're gonna be finding fish on the beds, you're mostly gonna be doing it blind, just casting around. If you get in the right scenario, you might be able to see them well, but there's a little bit of cloud cover here. It's a chance of rain around noon, but I don't know if it's actually going to make it here or not. So me and Bernie gonna go out. We're gonna throw a little top water. I got wacky worms, Carolina rig, a shaky head, and then a brush hog to flip around the dock. I almost forgot to mention they are running a stupendous amount of current. I just looked, it's 39,000 CFS, so pretty well maxed out. That's probably going to take into consideration, may end up on the main lake a little bit, cast around. I'm sure there's fish out there, just see if some of the post spawners have slid all the way out, the bigger ones. I'm sure there's plenty of shorts, so we'll see what we catch. Uh-oh. How are we going to get him, Bernie? We got him. Well, we were all hooked up. The fish jumped and they jumped over the cable. Oh, Bernie. Hey. Saddle down. I don't know if he ever left. He's pretty dang pale. a little better one on a main lake point on a shaky head. Bernie loves being in the camera angle. Tail's a little ripped up, but not bad. So tried to eat the whole fish sideways. Got this one on a Carolina rig, just because the other one ate my last green pumpkin trick worm. The rain is just about here. So I got chased off the lake by the storms, didn't have too much time. There were a lot of fish stacked up on the main lake. I only got to fish 2 spots. I caught those 3 in just a few minutes and had a couple other bites. It'll be interesting to see what the water temperature increase did. Usually at Lake the Ozarks, the full moon in May is like the biggest wave of fish moving up to spawn. I don't know if the water increasing, almost 20 degrees in a week had to have pushed some fish up to spawn a little bit sooner, or some of the fish that were spawning already, they may have kind of slid them out to the main lake, especially with all the current they've been drawing. But I don't ever remember seeing the water temperature increase that much in such a short period of time, especially right around the spawn. I did find some information on a study talking about the water temperature, what the maximum can be for bass to spawn, and like kind of what the mortality rate is if the water temperature gets too high. And there's a little graphic in there, and I think it's around like low 80s or mid 80s is when the mortality rate kind of starts to go up a little bit. But from that research paper, it's a much bigger deal if the water warms up to that mid 60s range and then really cools down and the bass end up abandoning the beds. That's what can sometimes lead to a little bit of a poor spawn. So I was just kind of curious. It just warmed up so fast, and the fish are normally wait until you get to like a mid 60s, upper 60s range sometimes, and then all of a sudden it went from 61, 62 to when I dropped the boat in the water Saturday night, it was 78 degrees. As far as fishing goes though, I didn't have much time, as you could see in the video, just a few hours total through the whole weekend there. But there's still gonna be plenty of fish up behind docks, shallow. The shad spawn's gonna be going on. The bluegill spawn's gonna be coming up, or already starting maybe. I did go actually in the back pocket, and it looked like I saw some bluegill beds when the water was about 75 degrees in the backs. So that's another thing that's gonna be going on, flipping around these shallow docks. And then obviously the main lake is gonna be just getting better and better as they keep running current too. If they're gonna be running current, if Truman's high, stays high, and they're trying to get all this water through Lake the Ozarks, that's when it can just be phenomenal out on the ledges, main lake points, deep diving crankbaits, spoons, things of that nature. So I'll be up Memorial Day weekend, and I'll be able to get a lot more fishing in, and I'll be able to have a little bit better report for you. But I'm looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be a good time, a good combination of being able to fish shallow behind docks and then be out on the main lake too. That bite should just keep getting better and better, and hopefully a lot more of those big fish start showing up. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for some more videos.